You realize I can feel you tossing and turning over there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've been kind of going back and forth for what? Like 45 minutes or so? Maybe more. I don't know. What's wrong? Just can't sleep, huh? I understand. That's because you don't know how to shut your brain down. Well, the trick that I try to do is I try to think of dumb stuff. So instead of worries about, what you did today or what you're going to have to do tomorrow or this week or this month or what bills are due or, you know what I mean? Any of that shit, I just think of stuff that has no stress. I don't know, just anything. Like, I don't know, I'll think of something cool that I saw that day, or like imagine myself in like a fun scenario. Like, I'll try to dream, but like force it, Because dreams, I have no control over those. So they take me down crazy paths. But I'll just think of things that I like or whatever. Yeah, come here. I'll tell you what. You lay right here. And just close your eyes and relax. And don't even focus on what I'm saying, because actually I don't even know what I'm about to say, but just focus on my voice, right? The words, the sound, that kind of stuff. Now you can focus on the things that I'm saying, because I'm going to think of something ridiculous. And I'm going to talk about, what? Jurassic Park. I told you I'll make it ridiculous. Because everybody likes Jurassic Park. And if you just think about dinosaurs, you don't think about work. Besides, if you did have to start thinking about work, a T-Rex would come in and eat all your work. Eat your boss. Exactly. So we'll think about Jurassic Park. First off, what we'll think about is how cool the vehicles are in that movie. Let's just stick with the first one for now. So they've got, like the Jeep things that they cruise around in sometimes. And those are obviously awesome. And then you've got the ones that they, actually took on the tour. It was like a Ford Explorer or something, right? I forget. But those things were really cool. Yeah, if I win the lotto, I'm going to get, maybe some Jurassic Park cars. My number one car, though, will be the Ghostbuster car. The Ecto 1. Because it's the coolest car ever. Look at it. It's got blue sirens. It's white. It's got the Ghostbusters logo. It's amazing. But what in Jurassic Park, you've got Dr. Alan Grant, and who didn't want to be a paleontologist after watching Jurassic Park? Can you imagine how horrible that would be, though? Like living in a camper in the desert and just you wake up, you go outside, and you dig in the dirt all day in the desert. And then you go back and you got a little camper. I don't know, maybe part of it could be fun. I don't know if I'd want that to be like a constant job. Although, honestly, I don't think they had anybody like yelling at them. You know what I mean? There's no boss watching over them. Just wake up, go outside, dig up a T-Rex, call it a day. I think the best part of that movie is when the T-Rex first breaks out of the cage. Yeah, it's so good. It looks really good, and it's I don't know, something about the way that it looks, the nighttime, the trucks, the headlights, the rain, all of it is so perfect and iconic, I guess, you know? And I mean, there's all the action and everything, but I don't know, I could watch that scene over and over and over again. That there's a handful of movies, that if they're on, I'm just going to watch them, even if it's in the middle, if I'm flipping through a channel or something. Well, we don't really flip through channels anymore, but if you just if Jurassic Park is just on somewhere, I'm going to be glued to the TV. Jurassic Park, The Matrix is a big one. The first one, yeah. Any part. If that's on, I'm watching it. Jaws. There was one I was thinking of too a minute ago. Well, obviously Ghostbusters, I mentioned that earlier. The old Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman, and Batman Returns. Back to the Future. Yeah, you can kind of see the era of the time frame of my favorite movies. All of that is just peak right there. What else? I was just going to ramble all about Jurassic Park, but now I'm trying to think of any if the movie's on, I just have to stop dead in my tracks and keep watching. I know there's more, but I just can't think of them right now. The Matrix is one of the biggest. Oh, I hear the cat screaming out there. No. Sometimes she's just screaming at stuff. I don't know what. It's always in the middle of the night, too. Yeah, I can't think of any more. Like, I know there's more, but they're not coming to mind. Like those movies that I have to just stop and watch. Yeah, I was saying earlier, like The Matrix, I always like that one. There's no part of that movie that isn't like super interesting when I see it. And then Jaws, that's more of a slow burn. But I've seen it enough to where I just get sucked in. Jurassic Park. You know, there's just those movies where it's like as soon as you turn it on, like no matter where it is, it's just like you're watching. Mm-hmm. My all-time favorite movie is Ghostbusters, though. Yeah, that was my favorite when I was a kid, and it's in the number one spot, and it stays in the number one spot. Everything is what makes it the coolest movie ever. All right, you got 3 scientists, and then eventually they hire another guy, Winston. He's like the everyman, like kind of like us, like, you know, just a person looking for a job, and boom, now he's a Ghostbuster. But you got the 3 scientists, Ray, Peter, and Egon, and they're just interesting on their own right. But the movie is so neat the way it sets everything up. It's fun, it's funny, it's scary, it's like actiony, like it literally has everything. It has the coolest car ever. All the equipment that they use, oh, I could go on forever about the stuff that they have. Well, all right, so they're Ghostbusters, obviously. So their job is to catch the ghosts. So what do they use? Well, first off, there's something called the proton pack, which I'm sure you've seen. You know, it's like a backpack, and they've got a gun that they pull out, and they blast the ghost with that. So that like stuns the ghost and captures it. It like blasts this like stream around it, and it like lassos around the ghost basically, which right off the bat is awesome. How do they find the ghosts? Well, they have the PKE meter, the, what is it, psychokinetic energy meter. That's the thing that detects the ghosts, which is cool. It's a little handheld device, and you walk around, and there's these little wings, and they go up when you get close to a ghost. It tells you, you know, oh shit, there's a ghost around. So you find the ghost, you blast it, and then there's the trap. And it's like this little box, and you roll it under the ghost while you're blasting it. And then it's got a little foot pedal, and you step on the pedal, and it sucks the ghost into the box. And then they take the box, the trap, back to their firehouse, which again is amazing. They live in an old like firehouse, like a fireman's, like a fire station. If there's a call and they're up on the 2nd story, how do they get down to go into the Ghostbuster car and go catch the ghost? They slide down a freaking pole. They slide down a pole. How cool is that? So anyway, they take the trap back to the firehouse, and then they've got the containment unit. You put the trap in the containment unit, and it like sucks the ghost out of the trap, and it holds him in a storage thing that's at the firehouse, and that's where they just store all the ghosts. And then even a lot of the ghosts in there were iconic. Everybody loves Slimer, the green one, which in that movie, he's all right. He's cool. He's kind of overdone, in my opinion, but the best is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He's just a giant marshmallow man. His introduction is so cool. You just see him like the top of his head over like building tops, like, and then he comes out. I don't know, just something about everything about that movie, just that hooks me. The equipment, the gear that they have, their jumpsuits, the suits that they wear, the outfits, they're so cool. The No Ghost logo, the Ghostbusters logo, amazing. It's perfect. The gear, the car, the suits, the place that they live with the pole that they slide down. Yeah, like all of it's amazing. Oh yeah, it's definitely my number one movie of all time. See, I can like ramble about nonsense, and that's what I'll do. I'll just lay here and I don't know, think about stuff like that, or a video game, or imagine myself in a movie or in a video game. That's how I fall asleep. I just think of dumb stuff like that. Eventually, I just drift off. The worst times when I really can't sleep are the times when I am just thinking about things, like if there's something the next day, something that's like big and stressful, I'll like overthink about that. And then I'm screwed, basically. Because I just overthink it and stress about it. But if you sit here and you think about dumb stuff, the dumber the better, It kind of just frees your mind, and eventually you just go to sleep. But one of the biggest things that helps me sleep is just having you here, your comfort, hearing you breathe. Feeling you next to me. That's like the most peaceful thing. Mm-hmm. What I really like is sometimes like I'll come in here or I'll be in here already, and like, I don't know, somebody calls from one of your family members or something, and it's a call you have to take or you got to deal with whatever, and you'll be here next to me. Or even if you go out like into the next room, just the sound of your voice, if you're talking next to me, or even like that distant sound of a voice, of your voice, just kind of like flowing through the rooms. Yeah, it brings me absolute peace just hearing your voice. That's why I just wanted to talk about whatever was coming to mind. Hopefully, my voice brings you a little bit of that kind of like comfort. God, can you imagine if I had like a horror? What if I sounded like Donald Duck and I was sitting here trying to calm you down, sounding like Donald Duck? I'm not going to do an impression of it because then it's just going to wake you up more. That would be hilarious though. If I was in a Donald Duck voice and I was just like, oh, just calm down. Let's take some breaths and we'll relax and we'll go to sleep together. Screaming at you in the Donald Duck voice. I don't know. Maybe eventually you just laugh so much that it would just put you to sleep. You'd use all your energy laughing and then just go to sleep. Ooh. Yeah, me thinking of all that, the movies and the scenarios and everything, just made me calm. It made me very comfy. Do you know what else I really like for sleep? Is like the rain and the thunderstorms. I know that's a very common one. Even when it's like a big storm. I mean, obviously, if there's like giant booms right outside the window, that's going to wake me up. But I really like thunder and the rain. Also, sleeping on a boat or a ship. Hmm. Yeah, because when the boat is rocking with the waves, it's almost like, like being in a cradle as a baby. You've got that. It probably make a lot of other people sick, but for me, I was one of the people that like loved that feeling. Especially when it was a little bit, if the boat was like a little bit more violent, not too crazy, but if there was some big like back and forths, and I'd just be laying there just kind of feeling that. Yeah, that would knock me right out too. Thunder and rain, and like the waves, being on waves. Oh, yeah, if I was in a storm on a boat, that would be, I'd be knocked out in a second. I've tried like white noise. That's okay. It's kind of like rain, but I prefer the rain sounds. I don't know, more natural, I guess. Even though most of the time I play them, on my phone while I'm asleep. If I could get it to rain on command, I would every night just snap my finger and have some rain. Give me rain with some rumbling thunder. I like your talking in the background for me to be calm and go to sleep with, but not like TV or movies or like audio books or anything like that. I don't like unfamiliar voices, I guess, or like other voices. I mean, I love your voice anyway, but I could listen to you talk talk, and it could be about whatever you talk to your family on the phone about, or you could be rambling like what I am now, just talking about whatever. And yeah, it would just make me super calm. Yeah, what if I was on a boat in a storm while you were next to me talking? I'd be so passed out I wouldn't even wake up the next day. I'd be in a coma. That's a funny thought, though.